Welcome back to my channel and another Brexit episode. As you have seen, a lot has happened this week. Yesterday Boris Johnson visited German Chancellor Angela Merkel, as you could see in my last video, and today he just arrived in France to visit French President Emmanuel Macron. Upon arrival they both gave a press statement, but yesterday evening, even before the visit, President Macron already gave his views on Brexit and the actual developments. President Macron already said yesterday opening the withdrawal agreement again and new negotiations on the withdrawal agreement are no option. His office even stated yesterday that no deal is now the key scenario for Brexit. And yesterday he said what he, by the way, repeated many times today in the press statement, is that the protection of the common market and the integrity of Ireland are the main goal for the EU. Nothing else matters that much. He emphasized once again that France is prepared for no deal Brexit, and he also answered an important question. He asked, can a trade deal with the US protect the UK from the repercussions of Brexit, especially a no-deal Brexit? And he already gave the answer himself. He said no. So everything was quite clear already when Boris Johnson arrived an hour ago in Paris. And yet they gave a press statement which I want to tell you now about and will comment on that. First, President Macron gave his statement, then Boris Johnson, and there were still questions from the press, and I will keep this order when I talk about it. First of all, President Macron said they already had chances to talk on the phone right after Boris Johnson was elected leader of the Conservative Party and becoming Prime Minister, and that he's glad that they now can speak in person, although both know the decision points of the other. But like yesterday, Angela Merkel in Berlin, President Macron emphasized the good relations and the important relations between France and the UK, and also stated that the talks they're having right now at lunch when I'm filming this are not only about Brexit, they are about the G7 summit that's coming up. You heard yesterday that there's Donald Trump's idea of bringing Russia back to the G7, but already yesterday Boris Johnson and Angela Merkel said for the UK and Germany that it's not time yet to do that, and President Macron obviously is of the same opinion. Regarding Brexit, President Macron said the positions are clear, so there will be nothing new happening during the talks during lunch today. But he made absolutely clear Brexit was the decision of the British people in the referendum, and that means Brexit has to come. Once again he emphasized they have to protect the common market. So a lot of options that are being talked about at the moment are off the table, because they wouldn't mean that the common market is protected properly. And that on the one hand is the trust thing from Johnson's letter, but also technical solutions will not happen because they are not good enough to protect the common market. He said after Brexit the bilateral relations have to go on. As you know, there are a lot of important areas where the EU and its member states and the UK are working together, and they have to find ways to continue this in the future relations. But he also said long time of negotiations had passed. I mean, it's 3 years now, and he's not very wrong with that. And he said no one has the right after such a long time of negotiations to reopen negotiations from the beginning. And to emphasize it even more, he said the goals of protecting the common market and the integrity of Ireland can be guaranteed by the withdrawal agreement that was negotiated for 2 years. But this withdrawal agreement was rejected 3 times in Parliament, although Boris Johnson himself voted for it at least once. But Emmanuel Macron said because of that only the UK can decide its fate now. He said there still are several scenarios possible. We talked about this I talked about this in various videos, what plans are there at the moment, which seems to be possible, which not so much. But Emmanuel Macron also said, even if there are several scenarios, the most likely scenario now is a no-deal Brexit. But, and I guess that has a little bit to do with all the talks from Trump about the US-UK trade deal, he stated once again, with all the long history and the location of the UK, the future of the UK lies in Europe, either way. That, by the way, was the first time I said either instead of either. I must have watched too much TV last night. Then there was Boris Johnson's statement, although he didn't say that much about Brexit. I mean, as Macron said before, the positions are clear. I mean, all the arguments have been exchanged, and there's not so much to add anymore. But he said he wants to immediately go to the topic of Brexit, and he wants immediately to state that he still wants a deal. As you know, I personally don't believe that anymore. He is an educated person, and you have to be quite intelligent still to become Prime Minister. So he must have realized there will be no deal, and I'm quite sure Boris Johnson knows that. Still, he said, with effort and creativity a way can be found, but that's something else that I don't believe in. Yet he stated the referendum must be followed to keep the trust of the people. That is quite true. There is a lot of diversity, and a lot of division in the UK at the moment, and trust is a difficult thing on this topic. I know that this is very emotional here. I can read some comments where I always ask myself, does that have to be that you people are making comments like this in general? I don't mean about me, you can say about me whatever you want, but there are so harsh comments where I think, how do Brexiteers and Leavers, both on the hardcore side of their sides, how do they treat each other in real life? It's quite it's not nice to look at, I must say. Boris Johnson also once again said, and that's something I truly believe, is that on 31st October means leave, and whenever there's a deal or no deal, they will leave on the 31st of October, and as you know, I believe that too. I don't see any other outcome there in the few days to come. To emphasize again that there have to be future relations even after no deal Brexit, of course. He, like President Macron, talked a bit about the current relations between the countries. As an example, he said that French and British troops are working together in the field at the moment. They're working together regarding Syria. French troops are being transported in British helicopters in Mali, and they're working together in Estonia, I guess it was, close to the Russian borders, to protect the NATO and Europe, and that is a thing. The UK will remain in NATO even if it leaves the EU. Those two memberships have nothing to do with each other. And he also stated that France and the UK work side by side in many fields, let it be climate change and other things, and that the economical ties have to be deepened after Brexit. I'm looking forward to see how he means that. I think economical ties can't be deeper than between the members of the EU, but we will see what he means when the negotiations about a future trade deal between the EU and the UK will start. And there we are back at the humor from yesterday. He stated that London is still one of the biggest French cities in the world. And that was the intro for the part which I like to hear again, that he's glad that UK citizens will be protected in France, and that the 1.2 million European citizens will be protected in the UK after Brexit. I know there's a lot of technical difficulties at the moment about the people with a settled status, or who have to be granted settled status, and the idea of Priti Patel of closing the borders immediately can bring a lot of problems to them, because they don't have any settled status IDs, only their German passports, for example, and if they have to go on a business trip and come back, no one at the airport can see from the customs offices that they indeed have settled status at the moment, and I hope that will be sorted out quickly. Then Boris Johnson stated, let us work together on Brexit, and let's not wait until the 31st of October, just let's do it now. Well, I don't see that that can mean anything like the backstop, because I don't see a solution, and especially not an immediate solution about the backstop and the Irish border. But there are a lot of other topics regarding Brexit, like air travel and stuff like this, where are some regulations already for the time after Brexit and so on, where they also still have to work on to make some things more smooth. Then there were questions by the press, only a few, but still. And there Boris Johnson already said that a lot of work has already been done to guarantee a smooth relations in many parts, like air traffic and stuff like this, after the 31st of October. But President Macron once again stated that the backstop has been negotiated for a long time, and at the moment the backstop is the only thing that can guarantee the protection of the common market and the integrity of Ireland. And there is also where he puts in the line for flexibility. He says, of course we can be flexible, but once again the protection of the common market and the integrity of Ireland draw the red line, to say it with Theresa May's words from the past, about flexibility. The Good Friday Agreement must be kept, and as long as I haven't heard any alternatives there, which no one of us has so far, it's quite true that the backstop would be the only thing guaranteeing the free movement that the Good Friday Agreement requires. And President Macron said, the long time negotiations, these 2 years they have negotiated about the withdrawal agreement, must be respected. There will be negotiations about the future relations. But first, Brexit has to come. Before that, there will be no discussions about future relations in detail. And there was, although he was very diplomatic all the time, there was a little bit of bitterness about 2 years of negotiations, and they were, as we would say here in Germany, they're just for the dustbin. Johnson replied with an emphasis that the UK will not put up checks on the Irish border. And once again, he repeats there are alternatives to protect the common market, but once again he did not give any details. And seriously, if there are alternatives, then please state them. Yesterday in Berlin he said in a few days we will hear from the government alternatives, but to be frank, if he knows about alternatives, why doesn't he name them when he's meeting 2 of the 27 heads of government or heads of states who have to make the decisions? So it's hard for me to believe that he knows about any alternatives, and there will be reasonable alternatives coming up in a few days, as he said yesterday. Then of course they talked about the 30 days Angela Merkel mentioned yesterday. Emmanuel Macron is of the same opinion as the German Chancellor. He said, If somebody manages to find an alternative within 30 days, then they will be happy to take out the backstop of the withdrawal agreement. But Angela Merkel didn't say that clearly yesterday. She was quite polite on that point. But Emmanuel Macron said he does not believe that anyone can find a solution within 30 days. So he said a decision has been made, and with that he means the referendum. So the UK has to go on with Brexit, but the EU also has to go on with the protection of its common market. As an answer to that, Boris Johnson said that he really likes the "we can do it" attitude of Angela Merkel, as he stated yesterday. But for those of you who don't know, wir schaffen das, what he said yesterday in German, that means "we can do it," was the sentence that got Angela Merkel in big trouble with parts of the German people in relation to the 2015 refugee crisis. So that was not a very well targeted shot, if you say that in Germany at the moment. He once again said one can talk about technical solutions, although everybody in the last weeks already said there are no workable technical solutions at the moment, so it won't work. And once again he said he does not believe the EU has to put up checks at the border to protect the common market, but the EU has a different opinion on that. Then there already was a little bit of press reaction to the statements of the both. First of all, they were quite sure that France is now absolutely sure that what we have to expect is a no-deal Brexit. And from reactions that the press got, the press stated that no one in the EU will accept any kind of technical solutions because they won't work. So this is a very exciting Brexit week again, although we don't get any real news out of that, except the mood on these meetings. They were very diplomatic yesterday and today, and they were very moderate and very friendly. So some people obviously expect something different, but that was the way it was. After these two meetings, I'm more than ever sure that what we will see on 31st of October is a no-deal Brexit. The UK will leave, and the UK will leave without a deal. There will be a lot of repercussions as for the UK, as for the European Union. I guess we will see how much of Operation Yellowhammer and the leaked papers will become truth, but we will see it then. For now, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the bell if you want to be informed about new Brexit videos, but for today, this is it. I don't want to keep you up much longer. By the way, if you like, please do share my videos. I still have a new channel and I'm still building up on it. I'm quite glad to have had about 1,500 viewers already, which is very nice in 3 months. And so I want to say thank you for everyone who was watching already. And on the other hand, I just say have a nice day and bye bye.